My girlfriend posted a quote on Facebook about toxic men, so I packed her bags and liked it. Hi, I'm Evan, 31. And the last words I ever heard from my girlfriend before I packed her bags were, "You're toxic for keeping score." Funny, because I was just doing the dishes she ate off while scrolling Instagram in my house, which she lived in, rent-free. She moved in 8 months ago. My idea? That was my first mistake. Rent was killing her, $1,400 for a cramped studio she never stopped complaining about. I had space, I had a house, bought and paid for 3 years before we met. So I said, "Move in. Help with utilities and groceries, $600 a month. No rent." I thought I was being generous. She thought she'd hit the lottery. Month 1? She paid on time. Month 2? "Can I pay next week?" she asked. Tight month. Sure. Whatever. By month 6? She'd paid maybe $2,000 total. She ate, showered, streamed, slept, and shopped. All on my dime. I stopped asking for the money. Didn't want to seem petty. She had Amazon packages coming every other day. Got her nails done like clockwork. Take out 4 times a week. But $600 a month was too much? Last Tuesday, I cooked dinner. Like always. She sat on the couch with her phone. I was rinsing dishes when I said, "Mia, can you help clean up?" She didn't look up. "I'm tired. Had a long day." I said, "I worked too. And cooked." She replied, "You offered. I didn't ask you to." That one hit wrong. I cook every night because she never does. I said that. Her reply? "Maybe I would if you didn't act like a control freak about the kitchen." Control freak. Over asking for help with 3 plates. She stood up, arms crossed, face red. "This is exactly why I need my own space. You're always monitoring me. Complaining. Keeping score." I said, "You live here rent-free." She snapped, "I pay $600. I just stared at her. "You've paid $2,000 in 8 months. My mortgage is $1,800. Plus utilities. Groceries. You're getting a massive discount and calling me toxic for asking for dishes?" She walked away. Slammed the door. That night, I saw her Facebook post. "Sometimes you need to walk away from toxic men who keep score of every little thing. Know your worth." 23 likes. 1 comment. "You deserve better." And that's when I made a decision. I liked her post. Commented, "I agree." Then I went to the garage, pulled out her suitcases, and started packing. She woke up around 7:45 the next morning to find me folding her hoodies into her suitcase. "What are you doing?" she asked, half asleep, mascara smudged from last night. "Helping you walk away from this toxic situation," I said calmly. She blinked, laughed once like it was a joke. "You're not serious. You posted about needing to walk away. I'm just supporting your decision. That's what a good partner does, right?" Her jaw clenched. "It was just a post. You're being ridiculous." I zipped the first suitcase. "You called me toxic to the internet because I asked you to wash 3 dishes. That wasn't just a post. That was a billboard." She tried to argue, to change the subject, to manipulate. She cried, "Where am I supposed to go?" I shrugged. "Not my problem. You've had 8 months to save. You've been living like a queen on a peasant's budget. Time to adjust." By 8:15, I'd packed 3 suitcases and 2 boxes. Her laptop bag was the last to go. I carried everything to the driveway. Arranged it nicely. Took a photo. Posted it on Facebook. Tagged her. Caption: "Start walking." Phone blew up. Hers too. Her friends messaged. Her mom called. Her sister texted me paragraphs with all caps. I ignored it all. "You've got until 6 p.m. to get the rest," I told her. "After that, anything left is going to Goodwill." "You can't do this," she whispered, tears running. I just did. She called her mom sobbing. By 10 a.m., her mom showed up. Carbon copy, 25 years older. Same glare. Same perfume cloud. "You should be ashamed." Her mom barked at me. Throwing her things outside like trash? She called me toxic on Facebook. "I'm just helping her detox," I replied. "You're ending a relationship over dishes?" her mom asked. "No," I said. "I'm ending a relationship over 8 months of freeloading, public disrespect, and a weaponized social media post." By 11 they were gone. By noon, I changed the locks. Cost me $180. Worth every penny. 3 days later, things escalated in ways I didn't even think were possible. Turns out, social media humiliation doesn't stay on Facebook. It spills into your phone, your friendships, even your HR department. Let's start with the fallout. Friends, hers and mutuals, started messaging me. Dude, was that really necessary? You threw her out? You know she's staying at her mom's now, right? Yeah. I knew. I put her there. And here's the kicker. The same people who saw her original post calling me toxic, without naming me, sure, but let's not pretend anyone was confused. Those people suddenly had amnesia. Well, she didn't say your name. You could have handled it privately. She didn't handle it privately. But sure, I'm the problem because I added a photo and tagged her. I started cleaning out the bedroom. Found a folder she forgot, bank statements and credit card bills. Curiosity 1. She had 4 maxed out credit cards. Total debt? $8,400. Student loans? $31,000. Income from her job? $42,000 a year. Which means after taxes, she was barely pulling $2,800 a month. Half of that used to go to her old rent. She should have been saving thousands after moving in with me. Instead, she was deeper in the hole. New clothes, takeout, packages from Amazon, all while giving me side-eye for asking about groceries. Then I found the notebook. A diary. Not even hidden, just left in the drawer like a bomb waiting to go off. June entry. Need to figure out how to stay here long-term without paying as much. Maybe suggest we get married. Then it's half mine anyway. August entry. He acts like $600 is nothing. Need to train him to stop asking. Train me. Like a dog. For basic contributions. I took photos of every page. Sent them to myself. Just in case. Then, Friday night, the doorbell rang. She was back. With her sister. I looked through the peephole. There they were. Mia and her sister, arms crossed, like they were walking into a courtroom instead of my porch. I didn't open the door. Mia raised her voice. I know you're in there. I called back through the door, calm and steady. You got everything Wednesday. What else is left? She yelled. I need my makeup bag from the bathroom. I already donated anything left after 6 p.m. Wednesday. That was the deal. You missed it. Her sister jumped in. You can't just donate someone's belongings. Sure I can. I said. It's called abandoned property. You're being ridiculous. Mia cried. I didn't miss it. You rushed me. Then why are you here? I asked. Silence. Then her sister. She needs to talk to you. To work this out. There's nothing to work out. She wanted to walk away from a toxic man. She walked. Done. You're being unreasonable. Her sister snapped. You're trespassing. I replied. Leave now or I'm calling the cops. They left, but not before her sister knocked over my trash can. Super mature. The next morning it got real. Phone rang. Unknown number. Law office. Mr. Carter? The voice said. We're calling on behalf of Mia. She's seeking compensation for an illegal eviction and loss of personal property. I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. She was never a tenant, I said. She was a guest. No lease. No agreement. She lived there 8 months. That establishes tenancy. She paid $2,000 total in 8 months. For a $600 monthly share. That's not tenancy. That's freeloading. You didn't provide proper notice. I gave her a deadline. She chose to leave immediately. Her choice. She's claiming you locked her out. I changed the locks after she left with her belongings. Totally legal. We'll be in touch. They said. So I called my lawyer. Explained the whole thing. He laughed too. She's got no case. He said. You can ask a guest to leave anytime. No lease, no consistent payment. She doesn't have a leg to stand on. It was starting to hit me. This woman wasn't heartbroken. She was cornered. And she was going to throw every legal Hail Mary she could find. Sunday afternoon, I ran into a mutual friend at the grocery store. Of all places, the produce section. She gave me that look. I want to be neutral, but you made it hard. Look. Hey. I heard about what happened. Yeah? I said, keeping it light. She hesitated. Look, I know there's two sides, but that Facebook post? The suitcases? It was kind of brutal. I raised an eyebrow. You saw her post calling me toxic, right? I did, but she didn't name you. She posted it at midnight, right after our argument, about a toxic man who keeps score. Who else would it be about? The mailman? She didn't answer. I said, she made it public. I responded publicly. She got what she wanted, freedom. I just added a carry-on. That shut it down. 3 days later, I got a demand letter from her lawyer. $10,000. Breakdown. $4,800 for unpaid household contributions. $3,200 for donated personal items. $2,000 for emotional distress. I forwarded it to my lawyer. He called me before I even finished my coffee. This is garbage, he said, almost cheerful. They're claiming she paid $4,800. You have bank statements? Yep. She paid $2,000. I can prove every transaction. Perfect. The rest is nonsense. Emotional distress isn't compensable here, and abandoned property after a deadline? You're fine. He drafted a response. Prove it. You can't? Go pound sand. That was the official legal tone, pound sand. And her lawyer? Went silent. But she didn't stop. That same week, I got an email from my HR department at work. Please schedule a meeting regarding a personal matter. I called them immediately. Is this about Mia? They wouldn't confirm, but said it was a harassment complaint by a third party claiming my behavior outside of work was affecting the company's image. Turns out, it was her sister. She called my job pretending to be a concerned citizen. I brought the receipts, every message, every post, screenshots of her diary where she planned to manipulate me into marriage. HR closed the complaint that same day. No action taken. But my patience? Running on fumes. By the end of that week, her mom was calling me from numbers I didn't recognize. I blocked each one. On the fourth try, I finally answered. Her mom's voice was dramatic right out of the gate. We need to talk about this situation, I said. We really don't. She's devastated, Evan. Panic attacks. Can't sleep. She might need medication. I replied. She's living at your house, surrounded by people enabling her. She'll survive. You threw her out with nowhere to go. She had a place to go. Yours. She's been there for weeks. She's not okay. She didn't seem okay when she called me toxic online while living in my house for free. Her mom's voice cracked. You're really going to hold one Facebook post against her forever? It wasn't one post, I said. It was 8 months of freeloading, gaslighting, and using me as a backup plan. The post was just the moment I stopped playing along. She loves you, she whispered. No, I said. She loved what I provided. Silence. Then she tried to pivot. She left a necklace. A family heirloom. She needs it back. And I remembered it, gold, dainty, never worn. Probably expensive. Definitely sentimental. I knew exactly where it was, a box in my closet with random stuff I didn't donate. But I didn't say that. You had until Wednesday at 6 p.m. to grab your stuff, I said. You missed it. That necklace is worth thousands. Then maybe it shouldn't have been left behind, I said. Call whoever you need. Police, lawyers, Oprah. I'm done. She did call the police. 2 officers showed up that Saturday morning. Sir, we received a report about stolen property, one of them said, already exhausted. I handed them the donation receipt. Showed them texts, her Facebook post, my 6 p.m. deadline. They left 10 minutes later. Told her it was a civil matter. She sat in her mom's car the whole time, arms folded like a sulking teenager who just lost her prom dress. I didn't hand over the necklace. She called me toxic? I gave her closure. Now she wanted jewelry? Call Zales. Monday morning, I thought maybe, just maybe, the drama had finally died down. Then I got the Venmo request. From Mia. $150. Description. For my grandmother's necklace you stole. She really tried it. On a payment app. I screenshotted it, hit decline, and blocked her there too. That same afternoon, my lawyer forwarded me a second letter. Final offer from her side. $5,000 to settle amicably. Broken down like this. $3,000 for lost belongings. $1,000 in emotional damages. $1,000 in unlawful eviction compensation. I told my lawyer to respond with a counteroffer. $0. Or we'll file a claim for unpaid rent, utilities, groceries, totaling $4,500. 2 days later, radio silence. Guess her lawyer finally told her the truth. But Mia? She couldn't let go. She made one more move. Created a burner Airbnb account. Tried to rebook my guest room under a fake name. Same profile picture. Same contact number. I laughed. I'd never even rented it out, but she was just testing if the space was still hers somehow. I reported the account. Blocked the email. Changed the Wi-Fi passwords at home, just in case. By Thursday, I started to feel it. The calm. The weird, weightless quiet of a house no longer carrying a second person's entitled energy. No passive-aggressive sighs when I asked about shared chores. No silent judgment about my leftovers or thermostat settings. Just me and peace. But right before I let my guard down, guess who knocked on my door? Mia. Alone. Hair messy. Eyes red. No makeup. Holding a printed document and a sad, hopeful expression. She stood there on my porch like it was a Hallmark moment, except the document in her hand wasn't an apology letter. It was a notarized demand for property return. Filed by herself. Signed at one of those strip mall notaries that also sells lotto tickets and vape pens. I just want what's mine, she said softly, like we were still together. Like we hadn't gone 10 rounds of Facebook beef, police visits, and petty legal maneuvers. I didn't open the screen door. Just stared through it. You already got what was yours, I said. 3 suitcases, 2 boxes, and a laptop bag. Everything else was left after the deadline. The necklace was an heirloom. She sniffled. It's priceless. And it was also under your bathroom junk drawer for 6 months. If it mattered, you'd have taken it. She held up the document. This says you have to return it? I didn't even blink. No, it says you're trying to play legal dress-up. She hesitated. I'll go to small claims court. Please do, I said. Just know I'll countersue for unpaid contributions. And I have the diary entries to back it up. Especially the one where you wrote about marrying me to take half the house. Her face twisted. You read that? That was private. You left it. In my home. With your handwriting. About manipulating me financially. I was upset when I wrote that. And I was fed up when I packed your bags. She stepped back like I'd slapped her. I loved you, Evan. No, I said. You loved the setup. Silence. Then she mumbled something and walked down the steps. But not before turning back for one last jab. You're going to regret this when you realize how alone you are. I smiled. I'd rather be alone than manipulated by someone who calls me toxic for asking them to do the dishes. Doors shut. Locks clicked. Peace returned. She hasn't been back since. But her final play? Was still coming. The final twist wasn't legal. It wasn't even emotional. It was PR. The following week, a friend sent me a screenshot. Mia had posted a TikTok. Title: How I Survived Being Thrown Out by a Controlling Boyfriend. Thumbnail: her, looking somber, with sad piano music playing in the background and black and white filters like she was doing a war documentary. It had 12,000 views. The comments? A mix of, Queen, you deserve better. Men like that are the worst. DM me, girl, I've been through it. And of course, one that read, he probably cheated too. She told a wildly fictional version of our breakup. Claimed I financially coerced her, kicked her out, without notice, and refused to return her sentimental items. No mention of the Facebook post. No mention of living rent-free. No mention of the diary entries, the lawsuit threats, or the fake Airbnb listing. I didn't respond publicly. But I sent one message. Straight to her inbox. Your version of events is cute. I have screenshots, bank records, and a time-stamped donation receipt. If you keep lying, I'll make the truth public. All of it. Especially the part about training me. Choose wisely. She left me on read. The video stayed up, but comments were turned off 20 minutes later. And that was it. The final power play. Silenced. By truths she knew she couldn't touch. A week after her failed PR campaign, things were finally quiet. And by quiet, I mean suspiciously quiet, The kind of quiet that comes right before someone lights a match behind their back. Sure enough, I got a text from an unknown number. Hey. I know you hate me. But I left my passport in the closet. Can I come get it? No name. But we both knew who it was. I waited an hour before replying. Everything was removed and either returned or donated. Nothing left in the house belongs to you. She responded immediately. That passport is federal property. If you throw it away, that's a crime. I replied. Then report it. But if it was so important, maybe you should have gotten it when I gave you a clear deadline. Remember that part? The part before the police visit, the fake HR complaint, and the TikTok documentary? Silence. Then a last Hail Mary. You know, Evan, you really changed. You used to be kind. I stared at that one for a while. I am kind. I'm just not a doormat. I used to believe kindness meant tolerance, even when someone abused my time, my finances, my peace. Now I know the truth. Kindness without boundaries isn't love. It's self-erasure. I didn't reply. That was the last message she ever sent. I didn't unblock her on anything. Didn't look at her socials again. Didn't speak her name out loud. I just lived. And that house? It got cleaner. Quieter. Lighter. I cooked meals and the dishes actually got done. I restocked the fridge and the food stayed there. I lit a candle in the kitchen one night just because, and nothing passive-aggressive was said about the smell. Peace, I realized, doesn't announce itself. It just arrives slowly, like sunlight through curtains. One morning, I woke up at 7 a.m. to the sound of absolutely nothing. And smiled. A couple weeks later, I ran into her cousin at a local bar, completely random. I barely recognized her at first. We'd met once at a barbecue months ago. That day, she brought a weird kombucha nobody drank and talked about her astrology app for 20 minutes. But that night? She walked right up to me. You really put her stuff on the driveway? She asked, already sipping a drink. I didn't flinch. Sure did. She smirked. She tells people you're unstable now. That you snapped. Had a meltdown. I sipped my beer. That the version before or after the necklace police call or the HR complaint? She snorted. Honestly? I think she's just mad she lost control. You were supposed to cave. She underestimated me. I said. She underestimated herself. She replied. Because now half the family's watching her stories like a reality show. Then she leaned in a little too close. And for the record, most of us saw through it. You're not the first guy she's done this to. You're just the first one who didn't stick around. That hit hard. Because for months I wondered if I was the bad guy. If posting those suitcases, changing the locks, refusing to let her rewrite the story, maybe that was too much. But hearing that? Felt like confirmation. I didn't just walk away from a manipulator. I walked away from a pattern. The cousin smiled again, a little sly. You seeing anyone now? I smiled back. Just myself. Good answer, she said, raising her glass. About time someone taught her what no sounds like. We didn't exchange numbers. Didn't flirt. We just stood there, two people who'd survived the same hurricane. She walked away. I finished my drink. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel angry anymore. Just free. 3 months later, the last ripple hit. I got a manila envelope in the mail, no return address. Inside, a printout of a review someone had posted anonymously on a tenant's site. Beware of landlords like Evan C. Kicked out his girlfriend with no notice. Emotional abuser. Control freak. Zero compassion. There were no photos. No proof. Just a smear in Arial font. I laughed. For 2 seconds. Then I opened my laptop, logged into the site, and sent them everything. Screenshots of our financial agreement, her Facebook posts, the Venmo receipts, the diary scans, and yes, the police report where she tried to claim a necklace she left behind. The admin replied in under an hour. Review removed. Account banned. Sorry you had to deal with this. I sat back in my chair. This was her last move. The final attempt to stain me somewhere she thought I wouldn't look. But here's the thing about people who weaponize stories: eventually, the truth gets bored of hiding. I pinned her original Facebook post to the top of my page. Just the one. Sometimes you have to walk away from toxic men. My comment still sits under it. I agree. And that's the whole story. Not a war. Just a man who finally agreed. 6 months later, my house looks exactly the same, but everything about it feels different. No more unopened Amazon boxes in the entryway. No half-empty wine bottles on Tuesday mornings. No silent treatments, no guilt trips disguised as concern. Just normal. Clean pans. Quiet mornings. My space again. The fridge only has food I eat. The laundry only piles up when I make it. And the bathroom counter? One toothbrush. Mine. But here's the thing people don't tell you about peace: it doesn't feel loud. It doesn't throw a party when it arrives. It just sort of settles in. Like a cat you didn't know was yours curling up at the foot of your bed. People still ask me if I'd do anything differently. If I regret the Facebook post, the public call out, the suitcase photo. And I always say the same thing. No. Because she made our relationship public first. She used her feed like a courtroom, tried to sentence me without a trial. I just held up a mirror. She wanted attention. She got it. She wanted to walk away from a toxic man. I made sure she walked. And now? The drama's over. Her name doesn't come up anymore. Even mutual friends stopped playing Messenger. That old group chat? Muted. Cleared. The necklace she tried to weaponize? Still sits in a drawer. Not because I want it, but because letting it go would feel like giving in. Let it collect dust with the rest of the lies. A few weeks ago, I started seeing someone new. She has a job, her own place, and wild idea, pays her share of dinner. I told her the short version of what happened. Her response? Wow. Sounds like you had a roommate with benefits. Exactly. Because love isn't about convenience. It's not someone living in your home like it's a hotel they never planned to check out of. It's effort. It's respect. It's showing up to help wash the damn dishes. And the next time someone calls me toxic for expecting basic decency, I'll hand them a plate and point to the driveway.